Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Monday. It is the 22nd day of March, National Bavarian Crepes Day, which sounds very specific.
That's extremely specific.
Not just Crepes Day, Bavarian Crepes Day. And you know what they always say? The best crepes are the Bavarian crepes. I've never heard anyone say that.
I've never heard anyone say that.
But today would be the day to say it.
Apparently they say it.
If you're going to say it, today is the day. National Goof Off Day today. So it's a good day to goof off.
Every day is a good day to goof off.
I got plans to goof off. It's also National West Virginia Day. So happy West Virginia Day to you. And it is a Movie Star Monday. Guess who I'm going to talk with today? Are you ready?
Who?
John Schneider. Yeah. Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. Now, we've had a chance to talk to him in the past. Super nice guy. Last year, he put out a movie called Stand On It. Now he's got another movie coming out. And I was just looking here, and I'm going to see if he can chat with me a little bit about a third movie that's in the works. He's got a lot of stuff he's working on. So going to chat with Mr. John Schneider coming up in just a bit on this Movie Star Monday.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new survey shows that 42% of Americans now consider themselves germaphobes because of the pandemic. Nearly half of Americans feel that no matter how often they wash their hands, it's just not quite enough during COVID-19. Do you feel like you wash your hands more or less or the same?
I probably, just out of spite, wash my hands less.
You seriously?
I'm not even kidding. I really, I don't worry. But I have a great immune system. I've always been very, very healthy.
Heidi marches to the beat of her own drum, if you haven't been able to tell. New research shows Americans will reach for over-the-counter medications to treat dehydration symptoms like headaches instead of just drinking a glass of water.
Yeah, you know what? I could see that. And my daughter, our daughter, is always having headaches.
Drink more water. Yeah. Average person suffers, listen to this, 2 headaches, 3 muscle cramps, and 2 dizzy spells over a course of a week. All of these, by the way, are symptoms of chronic dehydration.
Yep.
So if you want to feel better, have a glass of water. That's all you got to do. Pretty darn simple. Well, you might
at
have
least
other
try
things.
that first. Yeah.
It's not going to hurt. Surveys and studies and such. Brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. At least he was honest. Maybe that's a nice way to say it. A man suspected of a DUI has been arrested after crashing his van, and he didn't really try to hide the fact that he had been kind of drinking too much. Deputies were called in after several 911 calls. A van had smashed into some parked cars. They found the driver still there, who admitted openly that, I just came from the bar, and I've been drinking too much, and I was also talking on the phone at the time. Reeking of alcohol and failing a preliminary breath test, the driver was asked by deputies to rate his level of intoxication on a scale of 1 to 10, with 0 being completely sober, 10 being very intoxicated. He thought for a second. He said, "Can I give myself a 12?"
Oh.
He was given a blood draw, booked into jail. He was arrested, by the way, for driving under the influence. So
don't ever do that.
No,
please
do not.
Don't ever do that.
It is a bad idea. Get a ride. There are so many options nowadays. There's no excuse to do this. It's a bad idea. He's lucky to be alive. He crashed up a bunch of stuff. That is what happens.
He's lucky he didn't kill somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah, it would have been really bad. It's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. Before I get into those stories, I'm going to talk about this one because this is where you find the big screens, at least one place. AMC, that's the world's largest movie theater chain. They reported that they lost $4.6 billion last year.
Yeah, I bet.
And you know what? That's when it starts to add up, when it gets to the 4.6 billion mark. 4.5 billion, we've all lost that much.
Yeah.
But, no, that's a lot of money in all seriousness. Online, people are making fun of them. They're like, oh, all they got to do is like one weekend full of popcorn sales.
You know
to cover
what?
it.
All of us
It's
are going
gonna
to be
tough.
very disappointed if all of these movie theaters close down.
I agree.
It's going to be something you're going to look
Different
back on and
experience completely.
really wish
Yeah.
that you could go to a movie again.
Yeah, HBO Max expects to have 150 million subscribers by the year 2025. So it's right there an option other than movie theaters, and they're doing really well. And now NBC is going to stream a new show on their streaming app about a man who wants to kill himself. Saturday Night Live vet
What?
Will Forte is going to star in a show. The show is called Expiration Date. Now, I don't know what the show is about. I just see online there's already backlash.
It's got to be a comedy if it's
I
Will
don't know.
Forte.
You would think so, but that's not something you'd really joke about. So again, I don't know how they're going to handle this. I'm just saying that they're doing it. I'm not saying I like it. I don't know enough about it to say anything other than I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day, it comes your way, courtesy of RedCrossBlood.org. Thieves broke into an insurance office in Ireland. I was telling Heidi about this already. It's so funny. One catch. They snagged the safe. They stole a safe from an office in Ireland. But here's the catch. The manager of the insurance agency said, well, it was a very, very heavy safe, and they kind of did us a favor by taking it. We tried to throw it out, but it was going to cost too much for us to move it. So we just left it. So these guys broke in and stole a safe that was actually
A very
just
heavy
scrap metal.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too costly to move it, so they're like, thank you.
Yeah,
I
wow.
just think that's funny stuff. Accused Madame Ghislaine Maxwell.
Lane Maxwell,
I
yep.
don't know. I've heard her name said so many different ways. She is, according to her brother, enduring grotesque conditions while behind bars in Brooklyn. And he says it amounts to torture. Her brother's complaining of this. So, and again, online, there's not a lot of people feeling bad for her. So,
What
know
kind
exactly
of
what's
conditions
going on.
was she expecting
I don't
in prison?
and
I'm
again,
wondering.
I don't know what they're doing, so I'm not going to chime in on what's going on other than what I'm reading online. A lot of folks were going, okay, so. But again, if it's bad, that's not good. Interesting story here from the Florida Keys. A snorkeler found 68 pounds of cocaine hidden underwater in the Florida Keys.
Ooh,
That's a lot of cocaine.
that is.
So I'm not exactly sure what those dolphins are doing down there, but you guys really need to cut it out. And a Manhattan private school aiming to... Okay, Heidi, you got to promise to be calm through this story, all right? This is the kind of story that I got a feeling is going to maybe ruffle some feathers with Heidi. Manhattan private school aiming to use more inclusive language. You're encouraging students to quit using terms like mom and dad and parents, because these words make assumptions about kids having home lives. The detailed guide recommends terms like grown-ups, folks, family, and guardians, and different alternatives to mom, dad, and parents. So the kids are not even supposed to talk about having parents anymore at that school. Again, online, a lot of people not thrilled about that whole thing. 7-Eleven, let's move on to something we can all agree on. They've got a new thing they added called fish bites. So I think it's like chicken nuggets, but it's like fish nuggets.
Okay.
I think, if I understand this correctly. So does that sound like something you'd want? Like a fish bite?
I probably would, but I like
know.
fish, and it's no different than fish sticks, I
Yeah,
suppose.
I suppose. Probably the same kind of thing. The dating app Tinder will soon allow users to run criminal background checks on their matches. It's probably not
Not a bad idea.
Shouldn't they just do that on all of them before they...
Not a bad idea.
And one last story here. World-renowned cellist Yo-Yo Ma surprised people who were waiting at a COVID vaccination center with a little impromptu concert. How cool is that?
Okay, that's
Sitting
nice.
there waiting in line, you're like, oh boy, this is daunting, just sitting here waiting. And then Yo-Yo Ma cracks out a little concert for you. Little cellist.
That's
pretty darn
that's
cool.
really nice.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
It's a Movie Star Monday, and our guest today is Mr. John Schneider. Many people know him as Bo Duke. He's been in a ton of movies and other TV shows, and he's got a movie out right now. It's called 1 Month Out. But I'll tell you, this 1 month out has taken a long time to get to people, and it's quite a story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. It took years to get this movie out, and it's called 1 Month Out. I was having dinner with a dear friend years ago. She had just lost her father-in-law. Her father-in-law had Alzheimer's. That was a very sad occurrence, and she said, yeah, it was, but listen to this. He passed away in an extended care facility. He'd been there for 3 months, and after 3 months, he divorced his wife of 50 years, cut her and the children out of the will, and married his caregiver and left her everything. And if that's not bad enough, this was the second time this caregiver had done this. So it was a plan. It was carefully executed. Since we made this movie, I'm sad to tell you that this happens actually quite a bit. I thought it was important to make a movie about this. It is I would call it a psychological thriller. Barry Bostwick is in it. He is wonderful. Laura Caluette, whom you've seen in many Quentin Tarantino films, is fantastic. Ruth Buzzy is in it. She came out of retirement to do this movie. I'm in it, too. I'm very proud of having written and directed this film. Vernon Wells is in it. When I think of Vernon, I think of Mad Max. First time I ever saw someone with a mohawk, it was Vernon chasing after good old Mel Gibson. This is a movie I've been waiting with bated breath for this to come out, because you've probably heard that this happened in 2016. Well, it also happened in 2016, right after we finished filming and I had my first rough cut of the movie. The studio here was flooded in our 1,000-year flood. So all of my hard drives, even my backup hard drives, all picture and sound got wet. So for the first 2 years, 17 and 18, I was pretty sure that no one would ever see 1 month out. And then technology got such that we were able to get the hard drives restored, and I was able to put the movie back together over the last year. So this movie is a labor of love, and it is finally out, and I am very, very excited for people to see it and to comment on it, and I want to know what people felt when they watched this movie. It's not a Hallmark movie. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you angry, and if it were in mainstream distribution, it would be rated R, so be warned.
And the craziest thing for me is the fact that this is a true story, so it maybe doesn't have the fun Hallmark ending, but it is based on something that really happened.
It is a true story. And like I said, it happens quite a bit. I was just talking to a friend of mine who was talking about different degrees of things happen. I don't want to sound like I'm saying extended care facilities are bad. They're not. They're not bad. I understand the need for extended care. My mom was in extended care. So please don't take this as me saying these are bad places. However, there are occasionally bad people who will prey on the sick. Meaning, all of a sudden, a watch goes missing, or a pair of earrings goes missing. Things all of a sudden stop turning up. These folks are especially prone to having this happen. Folks who have no one left, and like my mom, obviously had me. She had people left, but she didn't have much, and she wanted to leave it to an animal shelter. So she did. She left her to an animal shelter. It wasn't much, but the animal shelter appreciated it. But there are folks who will step in between someone like my mom and the animal shelter and talk them into leaving their $2,500, $10,000, whatever it is they have left, to them instead. And believe it or not, these folks have no remorse for doing that. They don't feel like they've done anything wrong. That's what this movie is about. This movie is shining a light on not only the horrors and uncomfortable and tragic state of Alzheimer's on the victim and on the family. But it's also shedding light on some of the peripheral damage that often happens when you are given this diagnosis. So there you go. It's not a light romp by any means. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you angry, and it will occasionally make you very uncomfortable.
Again, the movie is out right now. It's called 1 Month Out with Mr. John Schneider, and I've got so much more to ask. We're going to actually have John back again next week because I want to talk to him about Stand On It, I want to talk to him about Roe v. Wade and many other projects he's working on. Going to have John back next week for another Movie Star Monday.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Only 2 mammals in the world like spicy food. You know what they are?
Oh, no. What are they?
The tree shrew, and what do you think the other mammal is that likes
What is a tree
spicy food?
I have no idea.
How about humans? I gave you the tough one. I left the easy one for you.
Not all humans like spicy food.
No, but humans and tree shrews are the only ones. While humans have long had the rare distinction of being the only mammal that actually enjoys spicy food, the list just added a new one. A study in China, researchers there found that tree shrews have a mutation in their ion channel receptor TRPV1, which makes them less sensitive to the hot chemical in chili peppers. As a result, the adorable little critters have gobbled up corn pellets laced with capsaicin, the compound that gives peppers their spice. I might have said all of that wrong. While other mammals in the study avoid them completely. So tree shrews and humans like hot food.
I'm going to have to look up a tree shrew.
Yeah, I'm also going to have to look up whatever capsaicin is. Thanks for listening to today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Canada. A Canadian boy escaped death and injury after he slipped out of a ski lift. He could have fallen, but instead he had to hang on to the bottom of the ski lift and dangled there all the way to the top of the mountain. Can you even imagine?
No.
That would be so scary. So good news that he's okay and everybody's
Absolutely.
okay.
Holy cow.
I bet everybody that was even around that had to be just freaking out because that would be really, really tough to watch.
That would be.
Imagine if you were the kid's mom or dad and you were in the little cart. What do they call them? Cart? I don't know what it's called. Ski lift chair behind that, watching your kid hang there. That would be so scary. So that is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police have arrested a man in Oregon for allegedly stealing $7,500 of Lego sets, multiple copies of the 71741 Ninja Joe City Gardens. I don't know what any of that is. A bus driver spotted a 40-year-old Nathaniel Nixon shifting cardboard boxes near the City Square Mall. And that's when they said they thought it was really odd that he was doing what he was doing. They opened these mysterious boxes. They found dozens of high-value Lego sets. Among them were the Lego Technic 42115. I'm going to quit reading the numbers and names. A bunch of stuff. A bunch of Lego things that I don't know. Police also discovered that all of the locks to the local Lego store's storage area had been cut. Employees confirmed several items were missing from their storage area. Nixon, who had apparently already had an arrest warrant in a neighboring county, faces multiple charges now, including first-degree burglary, second-degree criminal mischief, and possession of burglar tools.
Burglar tool.
Yeah, the missing sets, meanwhile,
They
have
got
been
all
returned.
technical with the Lego numbers, and then they said, and he had burglar
He had
tools.
Tools for burglary. Yeah, I don't know. I don't write these stories. I just read them poorly. This is today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by RedCrossBlood.org. A Texas man, oh my goodness, listen to this. He used a loaner car from the BMW dealership to rob a bank.
Oh.
Then he came back to the BMW dealership with the stolen money, and he tried to buy the car.
Oh, my gosh.
So he got himself 20 years in prison doing this.
Oh,
Federal
boy.
prison. 50-year-old Eric Dion Warren was in the process of finalizing the purchase of the BMW when they actually arrested him. He went up to the teller with a note that says, "This is a blanking robbery." I'm not going to say the blanking part. 'Cause,
Right.
not a good thing. "Play with me and die. I want $10,000 in 50s and $100 bills. You've got 1 minute or I will kill you." That's what the note said.
Whoa.
Anyway, they gave him money. He went back to the dealership, began waving around cash, entered the dealership's finance office, threw down $3,000 as a down payment. They were working on some paperwork when he was arrested. Can you even imagine that? They called and said, "Hey, there was a vehicle that was just here, and it was a vehicle that matched his description." So they showed up and arrested him. He
Right.
still had $5,000 with him, and the money matched the money stolen from the bank serial numbers. So what a bizarre
Wouldn't you think
story.
that any car dealer would be suspicious automatically of somebody who just comes in with a pile of cash
There
like
you go.
that to buy a BMW?
Man, just take it all. Yeah, it's a bad idea. And he was going to finance the rest of it, apparently. I don't know. It made no sense. It's today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Heidi, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. How about this one? Paxton Hollow, Media, Pennsylvania. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
I'm going to say golf course.
Paxton Hollow is a golf course. Yeah. Golf clap for Heidi.
Sounded awfully stuffy.
And if you also guessed it correctly, a little golf clap for you as well. That was a lot of golf clapping today. That's how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. This is one of those tug at your heartstrings kind of good news stories. You ready for one of those?
I am ready.
All right. Comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Here's the headline. A stray dog walks into a veterinary clinic in Brazil, and he was treated.
Sounds like the start of a joke.
And he was treated for a cancerous tumor. Ooh, not so funny now, is it, Heidi? Huh? I'm going to let you sit there and feel bad for a second. All right, we'll move on. Surveillance video captured the moment when a stray dog walked into a veterinary clinic all by himself in Brazil. That's when the physician was sitting behind the welcome desk, welcomed the dog in. He limped into the office, and they detected an ingrown nail after he greeted the dog. Further tests revealed the dog had a cancerous tumor requiring him to undergo chemotherapy. The first chemotherapy session had already been given to the dog, and he had responded positively. They said there's no longer any bleeding, and it does not seem to be in pain. He responded well to the first session, and they're going to assess each new procedure to see how many sessions it will need. This is when the doctor opened her own home up to the new friend while he recovers. How cool is that?
Aww.
The clinic, by the way, set up a fundraiser to cover the expenses of the treatments. Donations have already exceeded their goal. The clinic also received calls from residents saying, hey, is this dog available? Because I think he's adorable.
Oh, how great is that?
There's a video, by the way, that you can watch. It's the surveillance video of this dog limping in to this clinic. How cool is it that this dog, he could have limped into any place, anywhere. And it's like the dog knew where to go.
For help.
And he went in there and he got the help that he needed. And I just love the fact that they actually helped him.
Absolutely.
So, what a cool story. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.